The headline is a Circle IPO hits $1.1 billion as the firm sells shares above marketed range. A couple of things going on there, a couple of things that are important. So what happened is that Circle sold 34 million shares at about $31 each. According to a report by Bloomberg, which basically aggregated all of the sales that happened, that would put the market value of the company, the market cap that is at roughly 6.9 bill, and the FTV at $8.1 billion. That is more than Circle expected to raise just 2 days ago. That's 900 million, almost $900 million more. A couple more interesting numbers to do with that, and also a couple more dates. Yes, trading starts today. Ticker will be CRCL, so Circle. It is not the first major crypto company to IPO under Trump's second term. We had eToro IPO listing last month, and eToro, which is stock trading, perp trading, and crypto trading platform, is at a $5.35 billion market cap. Don't know how much they're making in fees. Wasn't able to find that on a quick notice. And then the other thing, which you also mentioned, which is relevant to look at from the perspective, is obviously the market share in terms of stablecoins. Let's bring this chart up over here. And yeah, we have the total stablecoin supply getting closer and closer to 250 to the $250 billion mark. And Circle has 61 billion market cap, so roughly 25% of that. And this will raise a couple interesting questions for me. If basically we have the IPO today and we have the plasma sale coming out a couple days, and the plasma sale seems to go more into the direction, more into the narrative of being the tether chain, as you also like to call it. That would be interesting to see how the Circle IPO and how that 25x oversubscribed demand, which also stats pointed out in this post, will do, and how it will impact the plasma raise. I think there is already an impact there, given that the plasma sale raise, whatever, hasn't even started, and it was initially capped at 100 mil. And before it even started, they already upped that to 250 mil. And you also mentioned the fact in the snapshot that the individual contribution is capped at 50 million. I don't think that this is just a random number that they picked to flex. I think there is people out there who have a lot of interest to put a lot of money into that. And it's going to be interesting to basically look at both how Circle's going to do post-IPO and how the plasma raise is going to do over the next, I don't know, how long is it open for? It starts in a week, but I don't know how long it's going to be open for. A couple of weeks as well? Something like that?
It's going to be weeks, not months, is what the document said. It's going to go, man. It's not going to, like, I think they will have designed this. This is not based on any specific information, but this is basically the tether chain. As you say, there's a reason why they've said individual, like who else is bold enough to assume that there would be someone with like $48 million who wants to come in? Like, no one would do that, right? No one would do that ordinarily. So there are going to be people who are putting in, I was saying this either privately or on the show before, like there are going to be people just chucking in millions and millions in one go. The only thing I would say to maybe, you know, it's definitively a whale's game, definitely that. So, you know, is it worth it for a smaller person to participate? Because the thing is, the initial cap might be 250 mil, but it's going to keep expanding. The reason why it's going to keep expanding is because they are very much incentivized to increase the caps over and over again, because this is a vampire attack on all the other chains and all the other various types of stable coins, because the way that you get your deposit back is on plasma as USDT whenever this process concludes. You can actually withdraw it at any point during, so you can, that will be okay as well. But if you do see the process through, you get it back in USDT. So I wouldn't necessarily think, oh, you know, 5 people, and I don't know if this will literally happen, but 5 people have put in 50 million each, 250 mil cap is gone, I'm completely out of it. obviously that's going to get a very delicious allocation of XPL, which they're going to have to put in more capital for because it's the time weighted. You get points based on the amount of time you deposited the money for, but they'll definitely open it up again and allow you to come in. So, concluding thoughts there. Maybe a final thing. Drawing this comparison between Circle, it's definitely not a one-to-one comparison, right? There's no equity involved in this
That's correct.
plasma raise. It's purely token, no kind of rights over revenue as such. So it's not comparing things one to one, but as you know, the reason we're doing it is because obviously there are interesting parallels here and competing stablecoin issuers who are involved. So I do think seeing seeing Circle with a strong showing will increase the appetite for Tether chain, even if those two things are not one to one. Even if Circle doesn't show strongly, though, which I think we're already getting the indications that it will, I think this plasma stuff is going to get eaten up, irrespective, to be honest. So,
I'll
final
try to
take there, Ledge.
both. I'll try to get exposure to both. If my broker is somewhat fast and reasonable with order execution, I'll get some Circle stocks going, and I also will participate in the plasma sale and see how it goes.